Yo, what's good, man? Daily vlog number 6. A little bit better setup this time. I got my iPad tripod, so we lit. I got my chair. We good. Lights, man. Making so much more progress, dog. I'm just so happy to, like I said, be at this point continuously. We got a lot more things coming. Way more lit conversations. Like I said, I'm just getting the setup right now, just getting the feel for it. One thing I'm looking forward to is it's gonna be me and a couple friends. So I'm looking at like 4-piece lavalier mics, and I'm gonna have like a 2 mic setup as well, with the handhelds. The 4-piece, will be more so just clip-ons. I haven't seen any handhelds for that one, but and we gonna be at the park, man. We go pull up. Like so, we gonna be in our like all black lawn chairs. Everybody gonna have some some good drinks or whatever. Cool. We got our lights. You know what I'm saying? And I just need to get a battery, like a big plug-in battery, so I can plug the lights into. But I mean, we set, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm so happy. It's 2 people so far have told me that they feel like what I'm trying to do is more like a show, and I was like, wow, like okay, that's kind of fly. So now I'm looking forward to just build off my momentum. There's a couple more things I want to get. Like I said, that battery, I got get some lawn chairs. I gotta get some more mics. Um, I may, and also I'm probably be using another phone to get some different angles. On Final Cut Pro, you could basically kind of use two views in order to show your side view, and then like right here we facing with the camera. But man, it's pretty lit, man. I've been Ubering so far. It's my first day back to the LSAT. So I'm Ubering, get all my study material, for one, and of course the studio equipment. But man, one LSAT prep book I've been wanting to tap into is called the LSAT Trainer. And just so real quick, I just want to give you some context on everything. So I took the LSAT 4 times. So I took the LSAT. I got a 141. I got like a 137. I got a 136, and I got a 141. So all terrible, right? So I feel like number one thing I want to say is man, if study groups do not work for me. I was on the phone with my friend the other day, and I was just telling him like, man, bro, study groups just do not work for me, bro. I don't think I think I get kind of lost in other people, getting good, getting answers right, doing well, and like I'm saying, I look at myself, I'm like, okay, but what about me? You know what I mean? So maybe I haven't found the right people yet, but a study group for me just hasn't worked at all. Um, man, what? And I would think I was. I don't think I just got a good understanding of how to actually perform the questions. I don't think I had really good strategies on, like annotating when going through RCs. I don't think I got a. I definitely didn't master. I for sure can say that I did not master one LSAT question type, which is like absolutely terrible. I think I went in, thinking about um, maybe I'll do well on strengthens, or like or of course I'll get like every main point question correct in the ring comp, but that didn't work well at all. But I definitely been doing terrible, getting soaked with the LSAT. Man, hopefully, so now I switched over to LSAT Demon, and I'm getting some like actual tutoring. But one person told me, he was like, "Man, you gotta hop in a class. Like, don't even worry about self study. You just gotta hop in a class and go from there." So I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be putting a lot of bread into it, and I'm gonna be getting me like myself like an admissions counselor to help me, or admissions advisor, whatever. But to really help me with my application. That's one thing I think I didn't do well on. I mean, maybe my personal statement was lit. I talked about myself wanting to maybe go into energy law or something like that. But man, I think I just need like a whole revamp. Like I think I'm gonna drop I'm gonna drop like 2 of my recommenders, and reach out to some more folks. But man, I'm gonna include more of my work experience. One thing I am excited about is that so on this new application, I will have my Spanish proficiency test, and I will have my SPED certification. Um, you know, paper necessarily on my resume. So we're happy about that. Just showing I have more time into teaching now. I have more of a story. So hopefully I can lean more into that. But man, I the other day man I Ubered this young lady. She had a associate position, summer associate position at Sintley in Austin. And man, it was so lit. So I picked her up. They were going to a Beyonce concert, uh, which happened this previous Saturday. And so man, we had a great conversation. I drove her to the party bus. She was going to be late, so I kind of sped through. But it wasn't worth it because we got stopped by a train, which was even more terrible. But yeah, man, pulled up, exchanged info. But she really motivated me. She went to University of North Carolina, had like a 4.0 or whatever, and then now she's on the dean's list at UH Law. Extremely lit person. And it gave me a lot of motivation because I'm like, man, she was saying how the firm, paid for her hair and nails and everything too. Um, and I'm sure they did that for like all the other summer associates. And mind you, I think it would have had to been I think like 40 people total. It was like 20 or so, I guess 20 associates and 20 summer associates. And I kid you not, man, that really motivated me. One part, because I feel like I got the I got the juice, man. I can study. I got the cognitive ability to actually just like lock in, study, and pick up on this stuff. And I have people that believe that I can score a 170 or 175 or 180. Like, you know what I mean? So I just been thinking about like, man, I really need to tap into that. Like, I really need to tap into myself and I need to be serious. And one thing, I've been looking at a lot of Asian countries and particularly kids in China that have to take the Gaku test. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but basically in the PSL test, it's like a primary school test to determine what high school they go to. I'm gonna fact check that, but one also the Gaku determines if they're are going to go to college, and I think the PSL test basically determines if they're going to like their career track essentially, or if they're it's like a good eight scale if they're going to be successful or not, X, Y, and Z. But they study super hard for this test, and obviously there's a lot of like mental health things that come with studying super hard. But man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I just been like, man, I just want to go all in on studying, just how they do in Asian countries. I was talking to my friends who's Caribbean, and he was saying how his parents, bro, like college, like that was he was going to go to college, so he was going to do schoolwork, and he was saying like a lot of American kids, it's like we have so many choices of things that we don't have to do. So, man, I just been kind of just taking a step back and thinking like, man, you know what, man, like I really just want to lock in with school. School is obviously most important for me. Like, I'm a person that I want to just get more education to better my career, and I like to think, like I said, I want to be able to think about the world in different ways, and I can only do that if I'm educated, and I wouldn't even be able to do that as much now if I wasn't as educated as I am, so or just went through as much formal schooling, so man, it's been crazy, but I've been like, you know what, bro, I just want to go to sleep, wake up and start studying. So I used to do all nighters, like I mentioned to you guys, but like I say, now I'm completely against that. I'm a person, man. I want to go to sleep at 10 o'clock. I want to wake up at 4 in the morning, start studying. You know what I'm saying? Um, and like I mean, bro, for the LSAT, it's like one of them things. Like I want to look at this test, like bro, like I have to do this in order to better my life, just like they do in Asia. It's like, gee, my your life gets better when you ace this test. When you get a 175, 176, 180 on this test, life gets complete. It's completely different. Life gets completely better. So I think I just been wanting to take that approach and kind of like find my space, man. You like I said, man, get to a library as fast as possible. Just do what I gotta do. I took my first practice test today. So just I just off rip real quick. Cold turkey. Like score like 130. Horrible, horrible. But man, looking to improve off that. And man, I would like to take the LSAT, man, maybe in November, maybe, or maybe October if they offer in October. But man, I got a lot of work to do on that. I got a lot of people rooting for me too, man. That's one thing that makes me kind of sad. It's like when you got people rooting for you, bro, you want to do well, and when you tell them that you fell short, it's like it hurts them. And I think that was one of my biggest takeaways from this summer, or going into the summer to this point, where it's like like me not being successful hurt other people, whether they were rooting for me, whether they like my girlfriend like counting on me, you know what I'm saying, whether they like my mom, like really watching me go through every single step. It's just like it hurt me to look at them, look you know look at me not be successful. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, damn. I just want at this point, I just want to do the best I can school wise, in order just to keep climbing. And one thing that I am, obviously I have a nonprofit called Made in Gold. I'll tell you guys more about it later, but yeah, so I have a scholarship that supports my alma mater at Sharpstown High School. So all the kids that's graduating, so we they go through an application process, and we give scholarships, money, tuition sent to the university itself, and we provide tech. This was our first year providing iPads. So I'm looking forward to partnering with people to offer money and tech. Really want to get MacBooks, but that's in time. So this year we're going to be offering like an art scholarship. It's going to be super lit. Like I said, I'll tell you guys more about that later. Today I really got the push to start the Made and Gold Meal Project. So we're going to be providing ready to eat meals to the homeless in downtown Houston. So we're going to be doing like Louisiana meals. So we're going to be doing like I said, so this time, for this August 2nd, we're going to be doing red beans and rice, brisket. It's gonna be filled up with sausage, whatever. We got bread rolls, we got water. Um, yeah, red beans and rice, and yeah, red beans and rice. And I think next time we go switch it up. I'm still creating the whole menu. That's one thing too. Like I'm gonna have fun with this for the whole year. Like in the winter time, we're gonna have like might have gumbo, might have might do some basic chicken noodle soup. And I low key I wanna start doing soup of Toscana. So the soup that you can get at Olive Garden, it's like one of my favorite soups. And also like cream of potato soup. We have a chain here called Saltgrass. Man, I love it. I really want to work on recreating that recipe as best as possible to be able to provide that to people in need. And just of course being able to master on my own. But I came up with the shirt designs today. I emailed the head of the Houston Health Department and let her know that I wanted to be on the schedule. So now, man, it's gonna be about mobilizing people, getting people to volunteer, marketing ourselves. Making sure we got some camera people that can show up, take some pictures, making sure we can get a little some good posts on Instagram, um, some posts that we could maybe repost on TikTok. I will be starting a TikTok for the nonprofit itself, so we'll be able to make some moves with that. Um, but yeah, man. So we're gonna be feeding 125 people. So I'm super excited about that. And it's one of those things where I tell people it's like feeding the homeless really hits people. People see homeless people every day, or people see people on the street every day. Regardless if they're homeless or not. And some people have like know what it feels like to not eat. So feeding the homeless, honestly, in my opinion, feeding the homeless resonates with people more than scholarships. They providing scholarships. A lot of people didn't even go to college. A lot of my friends didn't even finish college, and some people just don't really care about education like that. To be honest with you, and they will never to the extent of me and my co-founder. So I'm really excited about that. I'm sure she's gonna email me tomorrow and give me like a yes. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be just getting prepared to do that. The shirts is really really cool. So I went to tapstitch.com. Man, they got some of the best streetwear drop shipping out there. They're really lit. Really cheap too. Not that expensive. Per shirt. So like I said, man, we got the logo. And now I'm just gonna be getting everybody's sizes. So essentially, it's about seeing where people will serve their role at. So you got people serving food, got people passing out water, go have people just controlling the line, go have people supporting the people that's serving food, go have people boxing it up, and like I say, so also from this point forward too, it's about ordering, like the to go containers, stuff like that, the bags, like any information that we want to put in there, things like that. 'Cause like basically, they also you can also like post the shelters that's available, things like that where people can, jobs, people can like walk in and apply for a job, stuff like that. Or I think it's called Workforce Solutions here in Houston. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be explaining all that to y'all. That's gonna be super dope. And yeah, man, we just gonna keep grinding, man. I'm getting better. Like I said, man, moving back in with my parents, man. No matter what age you are, I think it's a great thing. I had a friend who was from Brenham, and he was a little bit older, and one of his things about not moving back home, was the distance, and like I say, change of lifestyle. And I kid you not, from where I'm sitting at, it's completely worth it to completely just be like, you know what, I'm about to make a shift. And if it can work for you, man, do it. Cause like I said, you're gonna save a lot of money. You get to restart in life. It's like starting back over at 16 or 17 when you're about to go to college. You didn't really know what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? And you get to just not having bills allows you to like reset your mind. It's a real relief of just not having, because of course you got your rent, but you got your water bill, you got electricity, you got your Wi-Fi, stuff like that. It's just you just don't have to deal with that type of stuff. I mean, you gotta buy your own food, cook your own food or whatever. And if you eat out all the time, that's basically $20 a day. If you include breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or lunch and dinner, or just dinner. But yeah, I'm sure you gonna go hard for dinner. You're not finna just go to Burger King, real quick. So and if you have parents that cook, that's not, it just takes it off your mind that you don't have to cook, that you don't have to worry about that. So that's kind of position I'm sitting in now. So really, like I said, man, I'm just making my situation better for myself. Um, so, upon receiving these passing scores for my teacher certification, I'm gonna be applying to more schools. And so, from where I'm sitting at, if I'm able to get my hours for my teacher certification, because you have to pass the test and you have to get like 300 hours in Texas. So I'm at like 150 hours, whatever. And so basically, if I can get those hours without teaching special ed, then that's what I'm gonna do. So more than likely, I'm looking at being like a computer science teacher. If they have like a junior seminar teacher, I'm down for that. Um, I don't know if I want to be like a college counselor, but if I have to, cool. Um, but yeah, man, I'm gonna be getting applying for jobs. I mean, I'm gonna be letting you guys know about all my interview prep, and that's one thing that a lot of people don't know how to do is interview. But I took a class at Tulane that really allowed me. It was lit. So actually, so they had like a whole bunch of investment bankers come through. This was like the last day class. Whole bunch of investment bankers come through, bunch of law firms, whatever, consulting firms, and they just gave us, mock interviews, and that was like the final project. And I kid you not, that those 15 minutes changed my life, because that really prepared me to know, like, okay, this is how it really is in interviews. You have to really sell yourself. You have to be prepared. So I'm gonna be doing all my interview prep as if I was like extremely hungry to be to start teaching again. Um, and so and really just giving off the impression that that you're the best at what you do, which is true to a large extent compared to the applicant pool. Compared to maybe teachers that are teaching. You know what I mean? So you just have to say that you're the best, and somebody's gonna believe it, and you just gotta believe that you can get hired anywhere. You know what I mean? So, but I'm looking forward to starting that process like next week. But man, right now it's the LSAT and these jobs, bro. And like I said, I look forward to letting you guys like see meet all my other friends, and hopefully like so we get to talk some politics and science and some deep critical things. You know what I'm saying? deep critical topics, man. Looking forward to all that. Can't wait to set up. Can't wait to have the setup. But yeah, man, it's just a daily vlog. Much love. I can't wait to talk to you guys more about everything coming up. And just to touch on the feeding the homeless real quick too. Um like I've always wanted to, feed the homeless. Like for the most part, I used to be in I used to volunteer to use the food bank a lot, and because of my degree, you know, I had to go get volunteer hours, and so I chose Houston Food Bank and stuff like that. And like I said, I was just always curious on how I could serve, and like I say, I'm actually surprised about how much people really care about feeding others, or even clothing others. I found that to be true too. People love clothing others, like whether they're donating to Goodwill, whether they're literally. I have a friend, she literally just passes out. I donated to her. I gave her like 6 jackets, 7 jackets, and so so she passed them out to the homeless population in like Cypress, Katy, Bear Creek area, whatever. And so yeah, man. I've come to find that it's like some people are not that thrilled about educational nonprofits, but service nonprofits that I say that for food distribution and food service, and man, people love it. Or like I say, the recycling clothes, bro, people love it. So it's just like you got to think about how to get people involved in your. If you have a nonprofit, it's like how do you get people involved? Like this is what you do, this is what you love to do, and now how do you get other people involved to care as much as you do? And like I say, this and or bring awareness to your mission. Our mission is to provide scholarships and tech to graduating students at Sharpstown and Kip Legacy, which I'll tell you guys about that partnership a little bit later. But yeah, man, it's just like it's not as easy as the initial thought. I definitely, you gotta think about food safety. You gotta think about having the right people around you. You gotta people that are patient. You know what I mean? People that's gonna be on time to the event. People that's gonna be accountable. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to have an event and then boom, half your volunteers showing up 30, 40 minutes later, and it's about really about reaching out to people that are not your immediate friend group. And I think that's one thing that I really had to take into account, where it's like, man, I gotta start, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like that's one of the best ways to network is to, I mean, just start your own, just have an event where people have to volunteer. If you have an event where people volunteer, bro, people will rock with you. And if it's a mission that other people would like to get behind, they will be there. And they can barely know you compared to your friends that have been know you since high school. You know what I mean? So, I mean, bro, just keep going, man. I hope you guys start nonprofits. I'll be having talks about that too. But it's feeding the homeless, man. It's like one of the best ways to get people involved and to get to know you more as a person. There's not a lot of times where, if you have a girlfriend, right, you're not gonna just ask a lot of your friends out to coffee, you know what I mean? Or just like to go get some pasta or something like that, or to go to happy hour. And if you do, shout out to you, brother, you know what I mean? But not a lot of people are doing that if you have a girlfriend, whatever, and vice versa if you have a boyfriend. So like I say, having an event, particularly a nonprofit event, you get to invite people that you wouldn't necessarily be like, hey, would you like to go on a date with me? Now and it's for the benefit of others, So way more people want to tap in just off strength of that, you know what I mean? But but yeah, man, I can't wait to do that. So our first, I'm looking like I said, I'm looking for our first feeding to be on August 2nd. Man, super dope. If you're in Houston, man, you could tap in with me. You can follow me on Instagram. I'll drop my Instagram in a little bit. Um, but yeah, man, this is Daily Vlog. Much love to you guys. Can't wait to talk more. Peace.